just what are instincts? Instincts are like a concept that I've been thinking about for a while. Like, supposedly by definition, an instinct is following a set behavior pattern that's been just ingrained into you, like when you were like born from your parents. So it's just inherited, supposedly. But then you start getting into the more science or the thought of what instincts are. You kind of realize that nobody really knows what instincts are, because if they're supposedly inherited from your parent, then there's really like nothing more to it, right? But then you think, like, what is it? Like, is it like something that I just can't control? Is it a thought? Am I thinking technically? Or are you not thinking? Or is it just some kind of choice? Like let's say a salmon. A salmon is a fish, okay? This is a regular old fish that does a specific thing. It goes from a different type of water to another type of water at a specific season after like 5 years after it was born. And they will just swim. They just decide one day that they should just swim across the ocean into where they were born, that exact location. But what triggered that? Their instinct, supposedly. They will go, despite storms, despite changes, because nothing's the same after 5 years, despite predators, despite anything, despite even going up a waterfall where it's like everything's against them, for them to just reach that one exact place to just die. It's based on instinct. That's what it supposedly is. So instinctively, they made a choice, or were they just going without thinking? Cause like, I don't think it says anywhere that instincts makes you like a mindless zombie. They just decide. They don't decide to go 4 years. They just decide, no, specifically 5 years, or at a certain stage when they go and breed with fertilized eggs or lay eggs in order to actually like repopulate. They don't decide to go a year before. They don't decide to go a different season. They don't decide to just say, why not just not do this and then like choose a different area. No, they go back home. Specifically, did they get that from their parents? How did their parents give that to them? Where does instinct go? For example, a spider. Okay, a spider can spin a web and just simply conjure up that, okay, this point right there, I'm gonna go down, walk to God knows where, but a specific where, go up, and then put the web there at another different point, and then do that at several different places, several different angles, and then create a certain set pattern for my specific web. Now you look it up and you look up what is the cause of this, and then a scientist may say it's like web spinning, like an instinct. It's just an instinct. They just do it without thinking. Just point. They do such an advanced thing that isn't comprehensible to the human brain, that like an instinct can just do such an advanced thing. It's just, if anything, a form of intelligence. Like, if you think about it, instincts can be considered an intelligence, but nobody thinks it's an intelligence just because it's not academically, and plus because it's not explainable either. Like, you can't explain what an instinct is. You can just put a word in front of instinct and then say that's an instinct, and that's a certain type of instinct, even though nobody understands what an instinct is. Nobody understands if it's like inherited, if it's like, if you think about it, is it free will? Because I'm pretty sure that spider didn't just make a web and just go, oh, wow, I guess I have a web now. No, pretty sure it made the instinctive choice to just make something, and then the instinct started taking over. But like, what is this instinct? Is it just like, it's as weird as a conscience? Like a conscience, you have a sense of morality, and instinct, you have a program, something within you that you just don't have any control over. Like, I'm gonna take another example. Okay, Blindside. Blindside, the main character, the kid who plays football, he has a little brother and he loves him, and he developed a relationship throughout the movie. And he had the highest score in protective instincts. Okay, that meaning that not everybody has these protective instincts that are like at the same level. Meaning there's different levels of instinct. How can you rate what an instinct level is? Just your impulse on something? Is that what it like just? And then okay, so in the movie, he was riding a giant truck and he crashed the car because he was not looking at the road, and then he protected his brother, and his brother didn't get hurt at all. Well, he did get hurt a little bit, but not as he should be. And he stopped. As he said, I stopped it, but he didn't supposedly choose. He just did it. Is that an instinct, or is it just thinking? Because I'm pretty sure if there was like a psychopath you didn't like, you wouldn't want to protect them. Would you still protect them? So is it based on choice instincts? Or instincts just basically a movement that you do on your own without thinking, but it has to be triggered by a choice? So in the end, we know very little about instincts. We don't know where it's located. We don't know if it's in our brains. We don't know if it's in our DNA. We don't know the general concept of instincts. It could be a form of intelligence. It could be an impulse entirely. We don't know if it's a self-programming. We don't know if it's just us still doing the process, but we consider it not thinking. We don't know the limitations of instincts. We don't know if instincts are just one certain idea that has been spread across to multiple different categories, such as parental instincts or survival instincts, and we don't have any sort of clue of how we trigger an instinct. Instincts could be triggered by choice, supposedly. Make a choice and an instinct happens, or we have to be in a certain circumstance that we have no control over, or does it happen at random? Nobody questions it. Nobody questions it. That's why I think instincts are bizarre and weird. I hope this like made you think about something, but like I think instincts are pretty weird, and I think there's just like an insane thing. Like that's really all I thought about. But yeah, I remember that spider. Like Jesus. Oh.